Winter comes and typically you put your special cars away. You know, it's just a unique experience because let's face it, you don't see something that is, 61 years old driving around in snow very often. My name is Jeff Zwart. I've raced over 20 years in varying forms of racing, primarily rallying and the Pikes Peak Hill Climb. Driven many different Porsches during that time. I was working on a film that was introducing the new Cayenne when we were talking about where Cayenne came from and the evolution of Porsche that led to this moment of creating the Cayenne. I wanted to kind of show some early shots of a 356 driving in the snow. I found this car for sale in Southern California and ended up buying it thinking I would only use it for the film. And as I drove it to and from set each day, it turned out to be really a good car. And I thought, I'm going to hang on to this car. So I did, and that was over 10 years ago. You grab a hold of that steering wheel and it's this kind of ivory plastic feel that is so slippery to touch and so different than a modern steering wheel. And you just realize I'm doing something that is of the time. I'm doing something that is purposeful but in another era. This is about taking something that was of its time and putting it into the environment with the weather conditions it had in the time. And the feedback of the car is so vague and kind of there, but yet familiar. It's kind of like seeing somebody you haven't seen in a long time. And there's just something about them that's familiar, but nothing in particular. And that's the way it feels when you drive it. The configuration of a 356, rear engine, rear wheel drive, good aerodynamics, just was something that equated to doing really well when the conditions were slippery. So rallying, hill climbing, ice racing, those were all great places for this car to show what it could do. At sea level, this car's only got 60 horsepower. And when we bring it up to an altitude like this of nearly 9,000 feet, you're probably down in the 40 horsepower range. So for driving it and getting it to slide around and move at high speed, you're pretty much pushing it as hard as it can go all the time. The Pre-A's have little skinny 16-inch wheels. The tread is only that wide on its summer tire. So there's not much on the ground, and which is fine. So when winter rolls around, I kind of look for the maximum grip I can get. And being in Colorado, they allow studs. So I run actually a World Rally Michelin studded snow tire on this car. You need something on the ground in the snow to get it around. This has been an epic snow season. Now it's nearly April, so I really wanted to get out in the snow in this car and do this little film with Will. To get the chance to take something old and go and not just drive it and tiptoe through the snow, but hammer it around in the snow, that's a blast.